Hey everyone, Dasha here, media producer at Cellframe Network. It's hard to believe, but 2025 is almost over. Cellframe and the projects in our ecosystem wish you a happy new year. Today we have the final news block for this year. How was it? Let's run through the brightest moments and key development achievements of 2025. In today's episode, 2025 by the numbers. New tokens, the most significant developments and latest updates. Events we participated in. Interviews on hot topics like blockchain, post-quantum algorithms, and hardware nodes. And much more. Let's go! But before we dive into the year's highlights, let's start with the freshest news. Ta-da! The Cellframe mainnet has passed the 1 million transaction milestone, outpacing many blockchain giants. The count started on July 12, 2023, when the main backbone network became a full-fledged mainnet. Here is a bit of stats. By the end of 2025, the main backbone network is over 400,000 blocks, over 1 million transactions. The developers also shared how many commits were made last year to the main branches, master branch. We had over 300 commits for the Cellframe SDK project, over 300 for Cellframe Node, and almost 2,000 for Cellframe Wallet. And here are the build stats for 2025. Cellframe Node, 57, Cellframe Wallet, 25, Cellframe Dashboard, 13. We are incredibly proud of every achievement. Now, let's see what significant things happened with each project this past year. But first, some hot off-the-press news. Want to join our team? Let's build a secure future for the blockchain industry together. We just launched our ambassador program, and we'd love to have you on board. Don't miss your chance to join and earn awards for your contribution. All details are in the link in the video description. Let's start with our web services. The first and main result here is the massive update and relaunch of the Cellframe blockchain scanner. It not only changed its name from Explorer to CFScan, but also got expanded functionality, major UX improvements, and became truly user-friendly and informative. We also wanted to highlight the improved experience for chain analysis, which is largely focused on ecosystem development. Cellframe Bridge, one of the key ecosystem services, is undergoing a major update. Changes affected both its internal mechanics. We changed the token circulation model and significantly reworked its architecture, improving performance, and its outer shell. We worked on updating the UX and redesigning the Bridge website. The new version is currently undergoing testing and we'll present it to you very soon. Don't miss it. Moving on, next up is Cellframe Auctions. We dedicated a lot of time to this functionality this year. First, a quick reminder of what it is. The auction site is a special platform where projects wanting to join the Cellframe ecosystem can participate in an auction for slots to launch their own L1 network. Cell token holders can support projects by placing bids and locking their coins. In return, if the project wins, they get rewards for locking in the form of native token airdrops. Technically, this is quite complex functionality. It consists of two parts. The centralized part is a special plugin that handles the auction process on the website: voting, accepting bids, and so on. The decentralized part is implementing on the blockchain and works like an external version of staking. It handles token locking in the network and distributing rewards based on auction results. To make this happen, we had to seriously rework the mechanisms for transferring and storing service data on the blockchain. It was a huge job, but we did it. As the developers reported, we're now in the final stage of finishing and debugging the auction module. Very soon, we'll present the updated auction site and launch the first project votes. Don't miss it. A global refactoring also affected our multifunctional app. At the beginning of the year, the familiar Cellframe Dashboard became Cellframe Wallet. The new version of our app is more convenient, functional, and truly flexible. While our old dashboard by default required installing a full node on the same device, now that is not necessary. We have 3 different connection modes to a node. First, the familiar local mode, where the node and app run on the same device. Second, ultra-light mode, where the app doesn't require a node on the same device and connects to the so-called RPC nodes that we set up specifically for this. Perfect for mobile devices, by the way. And finally, remote mode, the most unusual one. Here, you also don't install a node on your device, but the app connects not to public nodes, but to your own node running on another device. And the latest news. The new wallet version 4.4 is out, and with it comes the long-awaited Share Funds tool. It's a collective financial tool that functions as a shared account for a group of participants. The owner creates such an account and defines a circle of people with the rights to sign transactions, initiate fund withdrawals, or perform both functions. How can this feature be useful for you? Imagine you have a business idea, or you've gone further and launched a startup, found business partners, and raised some funds. Now you need to open a corporate business account to manage them. The shared funds functionality allows you to open such an account on the blockchain. You get a maximally convenient DAO mechanism that will make managing your corporate finances transparent and easy. We'll talk more about this in a separate video tutorial coming out next year. Don't miss it. This year saw many important radical changes, but we continue moving forward, and we have big plans for next year too. First and foremost, launching a full version for iOS and adding the wallet to the app stores. So follow our updates, there is more to come. Moving on, next up is Cellframe DEX. As you know, it's a decentralized exchange in the Cellframe ecosystem that works using a limit order model like familiar CEXes. This year, we spent a lot of time refining its architecture and logic to make it as similar as possible to centralized exchanges. We'll present these updates to you very soon. We also started and continue working on implementing a web version of our DEX. As you can see, we have big plans for it next year. For now, here are the key updates already implemented. Order functionality. Thanks to the updated architecture, 4 transaction types are now supported: order, exchange, update, invalidate. That means creating an order, executing an order fully or partially, modifying the locked amount on an order by the owner or seller, and canceling orders by the owner. Optimization. A new automatic matching engine ensures more flexible work with different trading models and updates market information to track current market state. Analytics. Added tools for market analysis and displaying trading data. Expanded the set of analytical commands for showing volumes, trade history, pair statistics, etc. Transparency. Implemented a system for managing service fees through decrees. Reliability. Implemented a suite of integration tests. All these updates are currently implemented on the back end and are being further refined, but we plan to include them in the next node release, and they will be available to you very soon. Don't miss it. Another important theme for us in 2025 was the work on implementing the second level of sharding and the hard fork. First, let's remind ourselves what the sharding of segmentation scheme looks like in the Cellframe blockchain. The first level of sharding is networks, essentially separate, maximally independent blockchains for each of our services. This includes Backbone, KelvpN, and other current and future networks in our ecosystem. This first sharding level has been implemented for a long time, and the mechanisms for allocating separate networks are generally worked out. The second level of sharding is the division into segments, cells, hence the name Cellframe, within each network. And this is precisely what we actively worked on this year. The key role in implementing the second level of sharding is the hard fork mechanism, that is, starting a new chain of blocks while preserving all relevant states from the old one. We successfully implemented the first such hard fork in the Sub-Zero testnet. Next up is implementing the hard fork in our main network. Once that is done, we can quickly finish the remaining work on the second sharding level, namely, automated the process of tracking the current shard's volume and allocating a new one, implement interaction between the cell shards. For this, we'll need to develop a special protocol. This will be our big task for 2026. In 2025, we continued to delight you with useful articles in our Cellframe Wiki. We significantly updated and expanded the Cellframe Wiki documentation, adding new detailed guides and articles for developers. For example, we added an instruction on launching a masternode via Cellframe dashboard. Details are in the link in the description. And besides that, our wiki has a ton of other useful stuff. Check it out and read up. Now let's move on to other activities. Hardware nodes. This year, we focused on developing hardware devices we make together with our partners, nodesys. And in July, we even started sales of Cellframe Lite hardware nodes. This is a compact device for launching a master node right out of the box. The software is pre-installed. Setup is via SSH, simple, convenient, and ready to go. If you want to learn more, we have a separate article and a great interview that came out with Alexey Yusupov, CPDO of Demlabs, where he talked about Cellframe hardware nodes. You have to see it. Links are in the pins. This year, we began expanding the presence of the native Cellframe protocol on centralized exchanges. This is a very important stage for our project's development. Since January 2025, the CF20 protocol has been listed on the Bitmart exchange. In March, the Bitcoin Tree exchange team also integrated our CF protocol and listed the Cell token, and later, other tokens from our ecosystem. This is an important step to expanding our audience and popularizing our token standard. And in August, the CF protocol was integrated and the Cell token was listed on BingX. In January 2025, several new tokens launched on the Backbone network and Cellframe DEX. CPUNK, the first meme token in the Cellframe ecosystem. QEVM, the token of the eponymous project QEVM, Quantum Ethereum Virtual Machine, combining Cellframe's quantum-safe technologies with EVM infrastructure. Dotflat, the DFC flat coins, and the RLE project's governance tokens appeared on our DEX. AMA sessions, streams, and video collaborations. This year was rich in monthly AMA sessions with Dmitry Gerasimov, including partner ones, where the most interesting community questions were answered. Also, Cellframe ambassador Gleb Sidorkin participated in streams with various crypto communities, discussing the future of blockchain and Cellframe's plans. Just a few of them are Rugged Wojak, Next 100x Jams, Nidian Crypto Community, Bitcoin Tree, and so on. More interesting content. Half a year ago, a great video with Dmitry Gerasimov came out. It's generally about the blockchain industry. Also, by watching it, you'll find out, was Vitalik Buterin wrong? How will states be able to use quantum technologies? And when will quantum computers be able to crack crypto? Online activities. Among our online activities, it's worth noting that this year we held exciting interactive quests on the Zili platform and launched large-scale ad campaigns on social networks – VK, Telegram, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter. By the way, the total reach there was about 5 million users. Several episodes of Financial Tides came out this year. It's Gleb Sidorkin's show about the main events in the world of technology and the crypto industry. The guest of one of the episodes was Pierre-Luc Delaire-Demers, co-author of the program to protect Bitcoin from the quantum threat. Also, starting in May, we began posting videos on YouTube in shorts format. Everything is brief and to the point. Check out that tab on our channel, you won't regret it. And how many events did we attend this year? My oh my! And what's nice is that our project was highly praised by the professional community at each one. Experts noted our comprehensive scale and deep development. We achieved key goals, consolidated our partner network, attracted steady interest from the target audience, and received positive feedback. Here are some of the key ones. Pre-accelerator meeting at the Technopark of Novosibirsk Akademgorodok from the A-Start Business Accelerator, where we helped master blockchain technologies in the largest IT cluster. Participation in a panel discussion at Bullrun Ambassadors, discussing the topic of deep-in crypto and its impact on Web3 infrastructure. Blockchain Forum 2025 in Moscow, which featured an interview with Dmitry Gerasimov, CEO of Demlabs and head of the Cellframe project. In it, Dmitry talked about ecosystem participants and our equipment presented at the booth, kelvpn router, hardware node, and so on, as well as a forecast on how many years ahead our quantum resistance will last. By the way, at the same event, we gained a new partner, Schiffer. They are developers of a blockchain messenger. Project team is integrating Cellframe's algorithms into their app to provide protection at the hardware level. Thanks to such partnerships, we can develop our ecosystem and find new growth points for our projects. Another important event at Blockchain Forum for us was the Startup Pitch. This year, Cellframe Network was the official sponsor of the competition. Dmitry Gerasimov was on the jury evaluating innovative tech startups alongside leading investors and representatives of international funds. 3 projects from our ecosystem participated in the startup pitch. The results exceeded all expectations. Nodesys and dotflat received Audience Choice Awards, and QEVM won the main competition prize. Participation in the Consensus Hong Kong 2025 conference was also one of the key events. The Cellframe team also took part in Token 2049 crypto conference in Dubai. In November, Cellframe participated in the International Crypto-Siberian 2025 Forum in Novosibirsk on digital currencies and blockchain technologies. There, Dmitry Gerasimov talked about development trends that will change the blockchain industry in the coming years. For anyone following the development of cryptocurrencies, blockchain technologies, and decentralized networks, this recording is a must-watch. The speech offers a structured analysis of industry development factors and helps form a complete picture. One of the brightest events we participated in this year was Blockchain Live 2025 in Dubai. This is a truly landmark event in the Web3, cryptocurrency, and mining industry. And our own side event, Post-Quantum Dawn in Dubai. Quantum computing, the threat of quantum attacks for modern cryptography, the synergy of AI and blockchain. Speakers discussed all this and more in panel discussions. If you missed it, catch the link in the description. Speaking of trendy topics like the union of blockchain and artificial intelligence, at Cellframe, we are actively implementing this function. Dmitry Gerasimov already noted at an MAA session in September that Cellframe is particularly interested in how to use AI to create its own cryptographic or blockchain protocols. Dmitry also shared his own experience and noted that without certain mathematical skills, the magic still won't happen. So it's a really interesting topic, and we continue to explore it and apply it in our developments. Another important piece of news is that we successfully passed a comprehensive cryptography check from our partner QVerify, who also participated in our PQD side event. The check of our cryptography confirmed compliance with NIST standards. Security audits are a significant part of any blockchain project's life. That's why it's so important for us to conduct internal and external checks of our code for vulnerabilities. Ecosystem news. As you know, the Cellframe ecosystem is multi-level. Now we'll briefly tell you about the main events in them for 2025. KelVPN is a decentralized quantum-protected VPN service with its own Kel token. The team worked on improving the app's functionality and stability. Very soon, an updated version of the app will be presented, which will include the long-awaited collaboration mode. Don't miss it. In 2025, the team focused on hardware development and presented 2 hardware solutions combining Wi-Fi router and VPN client function. The Surf 1 and Surf 2 access points are available for order in the Cellframe shop. Find the link below! In 2025, we had 2 listings of the Kel CF20 token on centralized exchanges. The first in February on Bitmart, the second in November on BitcoinTree. Against the backdrop of the growing quantum threat, the team closed Kel liquidity pools on the PancakeSwap and Uniswap decentralized exchanges and began withdrawing liquidity from external, unprotected networks. All liquidity will be moved to Cellframe DEX. Liquidity from PancakeSwap and Uniswap will be moved to the Cellframe DEX after the API update. We disabled the withdrawal of Kel from CF20 to ERC20 and BAP20. The Cellframe bridge now only works for depositing Kel into CF20. Nodesys is a post-quantum L1 digital infrastructure for decentralized manufacturing and automation. In July, the guys celebrated the project's 3rd anniversary. Looking at the monthly stats, you are simply amazed by the number of events attended and new partnerships. Keep it up! At the beginning of 2025, the beta version of the factory was released, and over the year, the project partnered with over 100 companies from China, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, and the USA. Today, the factory provides 41 types of industrial outsourcing services. New partnerships are very important and open opportunities for collaboration in various industries. Throughout the year, the team participated in dozens of production and technology exhibitions worldwide, including 2 Cellframe Network ecosystem events in Istanbul and Dubai, and something else. In November, Nodesys announced the migration of the NYS token to the quantum-safe CF protocol. This is an important step to protect holders' funds in the face of the growing quantum threat. CPUNK. Let's remind you that at the beginning of 2025, a new token CPUNK appeared on the Backbone network and Cellframe DEX. This isn't just the first meme token in the Cellframe mainnet, it's a quantum-protected meme token with its own utility. Key things from the past year. At the beginning of the year, the CPUNK token appeared in the Cellframe mainnet. Then the team worked on implementing a DNA domain name system on the blockchain, an analog of the ENS system on Ethereum. At the end of summer, the team launched its own Elvin mainnet. And at the end of the year, they presented the alpha version of the DNA messenger. Download and try it, link is in the description. QEVM. QEVM, Quantum Ethereum Virtual Machine, combines quantum-safe blockchain technologies from Cellframe and the EVM infrastructure used for deploying smart contracts. In early January, the QEVM project token appeared on the Backbone network and Cellframe DEX and became available for trading. Currently, USDC QEVM order pairs are open on the platform. In July, the public testnet officially launched, and now the team is actively preparing for the mainnet launch. By the end of the year, the team essentially implemented an EVM-compatible environment on the Cellframe blockchain and conducted special testing that confirmed everything works correctly. Some refinements are still ongoing. After a year and a half of development, by the end of 2025, the project is on the final stretch, and there is very little left until the project's mainnet launch. This event will open new opportunities for decentralized applications with post-quantum protection. Regarding interesting content, this year the head of the QEVM project had a fascinating conversation about quantum risks for the crypto industry on Financial Fox. The link is in the description. Dotflat. Dotflat is a collateralized flat coin with stable purchasing power. In January 2025, the long-awaited launch of the Dotflat project website happened. This year, a special Dotflat app was implemented, containing all information about quotes and smart contracts with a convenient interface for creating your own DFC flat coins. In January, the pre-sale of the RLE project's governance token started. RLE USDC orders appeared on Cellframe DEX. Later, orders with the DFC flatcoin were also added. In summer, the first listing of the project's tokens on a centralized exchange happened, CPUNK. Also this year, DFC flatcoins and the project's RLE governance tokens became available for purchase on the CPUNK exchange, trading pairs RLE USDT and DFC USDT. And note that throughout 2025, the project worked on improving the user experience as well as the design and functionality of the new landing page. Also, Dotflat actively participated in various events: the April Startup Pitch at Blockchain Forum 2025 in Moscow, the October Blockchain Live, and Post-Quantum Dawn in Dubai. That's all. Thank you for watching this episode to the end. We sincerely thank you for your activity, engagement, and support. We are sure that next year we will delight you with new projects and improvements to existing ones. We have a lot of interesting things in the works. Follow our news to stay updated on everything. Have a wonderful holiday season!